Marvelous day, guys! What is happiness to you? Part of the problem with happiness is how we define it. Happiness is just a word, but what is happiness to you? Is it a feeling? Is happiness when everything is going well in your life? Is it when you're successful? Is happiness when you're in love? What is happiness to you? Everybody defines happiness differently. We cannot force people to adapt a definition of happiness that we believe in. What we do for ourselves is to embrace a definition of happiness that brings real joy, real meaning, and real sense of peace into our lives. It feels amazing when there is a comfort and ease in our lives. But is that happiness? Because what happens when life is uncomfortably and difficult? If we define happiness as when everything is going right, then we default rather than by default we will be unhappy when things go wrong. This is why we often chase happiness, because the less we have of it, the more urgency we feel in searching for it. We search for happiness in things that can give us pleasure. We search for happiness in people who can give us comfort. Yet, we can end up feeling even more lost, depressed, and lonely. Our lives can get better on the surface, but inside we feel aimless and lost. When we look deep within ourselves, we'll find each other that our happiness comes not from what happens. No, we'll find that our happiness comes from the story we tell ourselves about what happens. The difference in how happy we all are have nothing to do with what's happened in each of our lives. The difference in each of our happiness has everything to do with how we process every single things that happens. It's like how the hardware of the machine can be state of the art, or it can be a arctic. But it's the software that determines how valuable a machine is. Likewise, what happened in our lives can be good or it can be bad. But it's how we choose to process what is happening that we can give us a sense of peace. Happiness is just a word. It's up to us how to define it. When we're feeling down, sad, or depressed, our lives are not any less valuable. When we define happiness as more than we just things are good, that's when no happiness, or rather, that's when no matter what happens, it is absolutely possible to be happy always.